Subscribe to Morris TVGH.
To express my thanks to the people of this beautiful community who are safeguarding a heritage that makes a difference, not just symbolically, but also materially, when we think about the power of connection, when we think about the necessity of the world joining together and healing wounds of the past so that we can move forward in unity towards a future. That's a future of peace. It's a future of sustainable development. And for me, coming from Panama and being of African heritage myself, it is also an opportunity for us to unearth the history of the creativity, of the contributions, of the high intelligence that so many of our ancestors within Africa and in the African diaspora have applied for the benefit of humanity as a whole. When I think about the ingenuity of coming up with inventions in every field, music, botany, industry, some of the implements that we use even today in terms of milling, in terms of looking at hydraulics, came from our African ancestors on the continent and throughout the diaspora. This is a history that needs to be known. For the United Nations, UNFPA working on women and girls issues, we also understand that your human rights are reinforced when you know your own story. My hope is that every girl in Ghana, every girl throughout Africa, every girl throughout the world will know and respect the beauty of her culture, the understanding of her own human rights, and that her full potential will be fulfilled. This can only happen with education. And education is not just in books. It is in visits, such as we have had today, where we too have had our eyes opened to the meaning of peace, the meaning of disrespect of man by man of women. And we also deeply want to understand this term of enslavement. Not slavery, because as we know, slavery is not a condition, it's an injustice. So to be enslaved, to be disrespected at the time of your burial, this place today is a place of healing, where we see the combination of what is lost and what is reclaimed. So it's been a beautiful, eye-opening visit for me. This term slavery must be re-examined. This was something that the United Nations undertook during a decade of looking at the antecedents, the history of the trade in one human being actually trying to deny the humanity of another and making them into a commodity. Slavery is not a thing. It is an unjust act, which is enslavement. It is sad when religion, for example, cannot overcome certain understandings about inherent worth. And in the past, it took a lot for religious leaders to come to where they are today and to explain very carefully that the Bible does not defend enslavement. Because this was used and twisted in the past, it's important for us to understand that to be enslaved means that your human rights are being insulted. No one is a slave. Man, woman, child, no matter what your ancestry, no matter where you come from. So the act of enslavement is what needs repair. The sad truth is that even today, people are held against their will. People are trafficked against their will. And the enslaver is trying to convince this lady, to convince this child that no, this is what you are supposed to be. You're supposed to serve me. So all of us need to resist terminology that reinforces the wrong thing. I don't use this term slavery as was recommended by the United Nations. We call it enslavement. That is what it was. Now, people are not to be bought and sold. It's just that simple. Children are not to be exploited for child labor. It's just that simple. Women are not to be exploited for sexual misdeeds. It is just that simple. We are all equal in the eyes of God and under the law. on speaking about return, speaking about healing, speaking about acknowledging the past so that we move forward, means that we no longer have to dwell in the belief that we are in any way inferior. We're not superior, we're not inferior either. So I emphasize this point because I think for your profession as a journalist, for my profession as a medical doctor in the United Nations, for every school child, this is very empowering information that we need to share with each other. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe,
and click on the bell for more updates.